Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Hope you are great. Seeing videos saying that our black people were right about this administration and all that. You think black people were joking when they were very busy trying to alert everybody or tell everybody the effects or what will happen if this man comes into power. No, he wasn't lying. Sorry, they were not lying. They saw ahead of time. The truth is that each time I sit down to think about how all these people have lived with black people for decades and still do not understand black people tells a lot. This is more like a relationship of people just being selfish only to take from you and not also want to give. Because when it comes to relationship, it's both ways. I don't care what you think, right? Now everyone is regretting. If you voted for Trump, you are the biggest enemy. Sincerely speaking, they are actually the biggest enemy. But there is something that I have also noticed about these people. The truth is that these people do not actually mind suffering, going through pain, going through the worst or the hardest time, as long as people that look like me are suffering. But then let me tell you something. These black people that you are thinking that they are suffering, they have lived this kind of life for decades, right? You all are just still learning to adjust. And that is one of the reasons why I see you people screaming up and down. Why is it that nobody's talking about the prices of grocery, that things are hard? You cannot go out to buy something because you are a poor white person that decided to vote for this administration, thinking that you don't want to be minority, but that minority is smelling right on your face. Let's get into this video.
I'm wondering, when are white people going to start listening to the black community? When are we going to admit that they were right about Trump? They were right during the civil rights era. They were right about abolition. And now we know, now we can see they've been right about Trump all along. They got our attention during the George Floyd protests, but we didn't listen. We were just like fair weather fans. But if we could ever get behind this community, if we could ever draw from their wisdom and their knowledge of what America really is at the cellular level, because they've seen this all along, and there is so much we could learn if we would just humble ourselves and move out of the spotlight just for a moment and let them speak. I'm wondering, when are white people going to start listening to the black community? When are we going to admit that they were right about Trump? They were right during the civil rights era. They were right about abolition. And now we know, now we can see they've been right about Trump all along.
The Negro is now an inferior species, or at least variety of the human race, is well established and must, we think, be admitted by all. That by himself he has never emerged from barbarism. And even when partly civilized under the control of the white man, he speedily returns to the same state. If emancipated, are now indubitable truths. Whether or not under our system of slavery he can ever be elevated as to be worthy of freedom, time and the providence of God alone can determine. The reason why the white race will not listen to black people is because of slavery. Everything in this country can be tied back to slavery. This country designed it so that black people will always be inferior to the white race. They will push policies that will make it seem like they're being humane, but still disenfranchise black people in this country. It is rooted in pseudoscience based on their studies from Samuel Cartwright, Louis Agassiz, and Carl Linnaeus. It is also rooted in manifest destiny. The main reason is because many white people do not believe that they should be equal to black people in this country. And as long as that has been the basic level of understanding in this country, when it comes to white people and the way that black people are treated by these policies passed by white people, we will never see the progress. As a group, they will rather suffer than to actually be considered equal to us or give us any type of equity, because they feel that they will be the inferior race to us and we will do to them what they have done to us. And that is why we keep saying, y'all should have listened to black people. And we give you proof after proof every time. It's in the pudding, it's in history books, but you choose to ignore it because your ancestors wrote pro-slavery arguments to justify our inferiority.
I don't think people in America understand how angry black people are. And I'm not talking about the trope of black people anger, right? Angry black woman, angry black man. I am talking about angry at the fact that the majority of white people voted 3 times for Donald Trump. The majority of white people have voted for Republicans since the civil rights laws were passed in the 60s. And that has led us directly to where we are right now. I don't think you understand how angry black people are. Just because we play it cool, just because we make jokes and make funny videos, and we do not suppress our black joy, I don't think you understand how angry we are. And just because we have followed black women's lead saying we're going to sit this out, you're not going to see us out in these streets protesting because he wants to unleash the military on us. And you know what he did as a response? He's been sending the military to our homes. He sent them to our homes, our businesses, walking down our streets. He had them dropping out of helicopters in Chicago. And now they just said, oh, they're thinking of sending the 82nd Airborne into Portland because they don't like white people up in Portland either. We saw what he did in Los Angeles. We saw what he's doing, what he's doing in Chicago, Houston, Washington. We see that. And you know what? We're angry. And I don't think the rest of this country, non-black people, understand that. Because it's easy for white Americans to sit back and say, blame everything on your favorite villain, right? Nazi Germany and H guy. But let me tell you something. Everything Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and Hegseth and the eugenics of RFK, everything they're doing has been done to black people in this country, not Germany, not under the H guy, not in Germany in World War II. We got 400 years of this happening to us by y'all. See, it is a very convenient excuse to blame everything as a likeness of Nazi Germany because it absolves white Americans from looking at your own granddaddy and grandmama who perpetrated these things against us. And I'm not just talking about 350, 400 years of enslavement, 100 years of Jim Crow, and all that, thousands and thousands of lynchings, all the eugenics, all the forced sterilizations, all of that has been done right here, starving us, all done right here. All the people protest about genocide somewhere on the other side of the world, what do you think happened here? So listen, if we can get through this, part of that truth and reconciliation that I talked about in my other video, there's going to be a carve out, a breakout day, month, year, where we got to get through our anger because we are angry at y'all.
Okay, I want to take a moment to say thank you to Donald Trump, not out of praise, but out of truth. Because while you rip through every part of this government, tearing down justice, equality, and fairness under the fake excuse of fighting DEI fraud, what you're really doing is confirming what black folks have been saying for generations. America was built on racism, fueled by fear and sustained by white supremacy. You've exposed it all. The masks are off. The polite racism, the fake allyship, the colorblind lies, it's all gone. Now we see it raw and unfiltered. You're not just targeting policy, you're targeting people. Black people, brown people, marginalized communities. And the wild part, we make up the smallest portion of this country, yet somehow we are the biggest threat to the lie that white supremacy built. That should tell you everything. You're afraid not of violence, not of replacement, but of the power we hold even when we have nothing. You see the way our culture, our brilliance, our resilience, our excellence continues to shape this country, even when it tries to erase us. Donald Trump is just the loudest version of a system that's always been in place. He is the living, breathing proof that this country was never designed with us in mind. And yet, we continue to define it. So thank you, Donald, for exposing what so many tried to deny, for showing the world that the fear of black greatness is real, for proving that racism isn't in our imagination, it's in the fabric of this nation. And to my people, we don't have to fight to prove our worth. He's doing that for us. All we have to do is stand firm, stay awake, and know that the truth is finally louder than the lie. We are not broken. We are not the problem. We are the evidence of the power that this country can contain. Let that truth ring louder than its hate. Okay, since no one's going to say it, I'm going to say it. Let's just call it what it is. This Trump administration isn't some showcase of brilliance or strategy or moral authority. It is a showcase of white mediocrity, broadcast for the entire world to see. If you think about it, they scream about being the greatest. They scream about being the smartest, the most patriotic. But when the spotlight hits them, what do we see? Corruption, incompetence, lies stacked on top of lies. A government so insecure it has to redraw maps, it has to silence voters, it has to attack its own citizens just to hold on to power. And the world is watching. Countries overseas are looking at America, shaking their heads, saying, "This is America? This is what we were told was the standard for democracy?" Because for centuries, whiteness carried itself alongside synonymous with excellence, while dismissing black and brown excellence as inferior. But Trump's administration has blown that myth to pieces because globally, people see it now. Whiteness in power doesn't guarantee wisdom. It doesn't guarantee justice. It doesn't even guarantee competence. All it guarantees is access. Access, handed down through a rigged system that protects mediocrity as long as it wears the right skin. So let's be clear. This ain't about every white person, but it is about the fact that Trump has exposed the truth that the old story of white superiority was never superiority at all. It was all smoke and mirrors. And now the smoke has cleared. So what comes next, right? If America wants respect on the world stage again, it won't come through Trump. It won't come through clinging to whiteness. It will come through honesty, justice, and multiracial democracy that values talent, not skin. Because the global stage just learned what we've always known. When you strip away the privilege, white mediocrity can't hold a candle to black excellence.
Anyone who voted for Donald Trump definitely wanted to see pure hatred in this world. You thrive on it, you live in it, and misery is definitely your favorite company. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. Y'all do not understand. This man is literally going out his way to make sure that even after death, he still had the benefits. Because yeah, he's gonna die and go to hell. We all know that. And the one thing I can say is that, but he still will have the last laugh. Because everything he's doing, society is going to take so long to get out of. Because that man is not only just ruining inside the country, but he's also fucking it up for us on the outside of the country. And at this point, bro, what more needs to be said for y'all to understand that shit is about to get real? Like, shit is about to get so real, it's not even funny. I feel like by the end of 2026 or the mid of 2026, people are gonna wake up so much that a war is gonna eventually break out. Because at some point, bro, when are we gonna realize that everything that man is doing in office is treason? When are we gonna realize that the people in Congress as a whole are nothing but terrorists? Yeah, any Republican that's like right behind Trump, you're a fucking terrorist. You don't belong to be in this country. You are the exact people that that they're demonizing are them. They're the ones still wearing the white coats. Like, I never understood how someone could really hate other people so fucking bad that you go out your way to make sure that your entire life was built to make sure that you ruined so many people's, like, I really do not understand. And in Trump's mind, in his white mind, he really believes that what he's doing is a good thing. And that's not to say, like, I'm not, like, no, don't get me wrong, because minorities weren't the only people. Yeah, I know there was a good amount of black people that, especially black men, that, you know, followed Trump in his little pursuit during that. And those kuna kahunas, man, them too. Them too are fucking terrorists. Them too are demons and should not be here. I don't understand. I really cannot understand how y'all wanted this so bad. Like, y'all literally saw nothing but black and white at the election. That's all y'all saw. Because y'all didn't listen to a single fucking thing neither one of the candidates said. Because Kamala was literally telling us this from day one, not to trust this man. Not only was she proving herself in the same aspect, but from day one, she was letting niggas know not to vote for him. This man openly has been this way the same way he's in office right now. He was that exact way during the election. So for anybody to make me believe y'all didn't think he was gonna really do this shit and y'all oh my God, y'all have no idea how bad y'all fucked up with this. Like, I really don't even think Americans realize. And for the ones who continue to follow him, y'all are in for a horrible awakening. Because I promise y'all are going to realize that, yes, y'all could try to turn against the people that are against him, but be prepared for him to turn on you. Because that's exactly what the fuck he's doing right now. He's turning everybody against each other so that he could do what he do in a blind eye, and then he could die later on knowing that he won. Y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea the detriment that y'all really just did. Putting that man in office was probably one of the worst. I need to find a word worser than worse. Because, bro, this was a horrible fucking decision. Like, y'all have no idea what we're about to be going through these next 3 to 4 years.
If you support Trump and you're one of those people that get your rocks off seeing kids and mothers being separated and see their kids crying and see the children being put in hamstrings, and you get your rocks off on it saying this is what I voted for, you're nothing but racist ass, coward ass pigs. That's what you are. This is why this country will never be great, because of people like you. Racist ass scum pigs. Period. Any decent human being would not cheer for things like that. Period. Any real Christian would not cheer for stuff like that. You're nothing but cowards, fake patriotism, wrap yourself up in this fake ass patriotism that you do, and then go to church and pretend you're a Christian. Get the fuck out of here, racist ass, disgusting human beings.
Kevin Stitt is the Republican governor of Oklahoma and the chair of the National Governors Association. He just went on the record calling Donald Trump's invasion of Chicago and Portland a violation of states' rights and a violation of our form of government, correctly recognizing and refusing to succumb to the hypocrisy by calling out that he and his fellow Oklahomans would have lost their minds if President Biden had ever sent the National Guard from Illinois into Oklahoma. This development, on top of Marjorie Taylor Greene turning on Trump over the shutdown, could not have come at a better time, because over the insanity of the past couple of weeks, I was struck by exactly how badly Donald Trump is being failed by his advisors, and by extension, how badly he is failing his MAGA base. And the proof is in the data, and I'm going to show it to you. And by the end of this video, I think you will agree with me that we should be collectively shocked that any person still supports Trump, and that Trump hasn't fired his entire cabinet. Because right now, his primary focus, and remember these topics, is sending the National Guard into blue cities, spending billions of dollars to chase undocumented immigrants, while 70 to 75% of Americans believe that if you're undocumented but you haven't committed any other crimes, you should stay. He forced an indictment on James Comey, and he's trying to do the same to Adam Schiff, trying to force criminal consequences for superficial emotional grievances. He's forcing prices up by forcing tariffs down our throat, not just on imports from China, but on our best trading partners like Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. And he's not only fired tens of thousands of federal workers who were insufficiently loyal to him, but now he's gone even further by allowing Pete Hegseth to fire active duty members of the military. Now let's compare these actions and priorities to the responses from Trump voters in a November 2024 poll, where after he was successfully elected, they were asked how he should govern. In this poll, after voting for Trump, 58% of Trump's own voters said it would be inappropriate for him to fire federal workers for being insufficiently loyal. 58% of them said it would be inappropriate for him to pardon friends, family, or supporters who committed crimes. 42% of Trump voters said it would be inappropriate for him to govern with executive orders if he can't get his priorities through Congress. And 46% of Trump voters said it would be unacceptable for Trump to order the Justice Department to investigate his Democratic rivals. I cannot emphasize this enough. These are only Trump voters. But because of Donald Trump's brain rot advisors, his entire first year has been a laundry list of things nobody wanted. All while we bleed good jobs, while prices continue to climb, and while Russia does whatever they want. And all while personal freedoms and states' rights are under constant attack. And if you're one of these Republicans like Kevin Stitt, or dare I even say Marjorie Taylor Greene, do not let them gaslight you into believing that this is what you wanted. You were right. These were terrible ideas then, and they're even worse now, because his incompetent administration finds a way to make bad ideas even worse with their circus sideshow execution. I still believe that millions of Republicans just wanted better jobs and lower prices.
This video, and one thing I have been saying till this very moment is that the ones that are always like, this is what I voted for, or he is a Christian, he's a great Christian. I don't know the definition of Christianity and all that when it comes to them, so I don't listen to them when it comes to them saying he's a Christian. Leave it at that. Now I am going to say this. The truth is that our Black people saw everything that is going on today ahead of time. And I have been asking this, how come these people have been living with Black people, both white people, Asian, and Hispanic? They've been living with Black people for how many decades? Still, they do not understand Black people. They do not know Black people. And that also boils down to people that actually do not care. Because it's just like when you are interested in someone, when you like somebody, the first thing you would like to know is to get to know the person, understand what the person likes and what the person does not like, for a good relationship or for a great rapport, right? First of all, find out what the person likes and what the person doesn't like, right? But this one, no. Zero. And they will be the first people to come out to tell you that you are not helping them or you are not kind to them and all that, like you were the one that sent them. But at this point in time, I am going to exempt the other people of color, because I know that they make up they are the minority groups, and all of them all together do not make up a lot of white people. Right? So I am going to ask white people, what do you have in mind? What was on your mind when you all came out and voted for Donald Trump? The truth is that some of you that are coming out today to say that you regret your vote do not actually mean it. I think you are just running away from people telling you that you are a bad person or you are a horrible person, because majority of you are, and you are running away from it. That's why some of you came out with blue bracelets, some came out with Pe0ple revolution. All these things are very performative. You all knew what you did. And some of you, if there is still opportunity for you to change your vote or for you to do better, I feel like majority of you will still vote for this administration again and again, because from what my big sister said, you heard her right, that some of you will vote against your own interest as long as it is hurting people that look like me. I remember bringing so many videos about these people saying that they are scared of being the minority. And why are they scared? At this point in time, Black people are not interested in minority and superiority. The only thing they've been working towards for decades is to dismantle the system that has been oppressing them, because that system has been in place to oppress them. It's also one of the reasons why when I talk about how the system is not broken, the system is working, is functioning the way they made it to function. Because tell me a system that will allow people like Stephen Miller come out, majority at times when he come out to say something, he always fumble as usual. When he says something, before you know what is going on, the president is acting on it. It's just like the way he said left for him, it is going to be how many million of people, I will never forget that, how many million of people that look like him in the country. Before we know what is going on, Chicago became where the president sent guards and the rest of it. What are they doing? You and I know that they are trying to curb. And then before we know what is going, he came out again to say, talk about plenary action and all that. See, this administration is very dangerous. And each time I sit down to think about it, if you have critical thinking, this Mr. Orange Man is already old. I feel like he even has, I don't know what, but whatever one, let me keep it to myself. I feel like majority of the things that he is doing, it is not him even, like, he get instruction and he acts on it. Yeah, because most decisions he's not even the one making them. Just sit down and think about it, about someone that is 80 or 80 something or 79 thereabouts, and from also the way he acts. But still, from the things you see, it definitely will tell you that some people have so much bad blood in them, and that is something they've been working with. But who am I to even question them? Black people told everybody, black people they were very straightforward with what was going to happen if this man get into office, and everything they have said so far has completely happened, and more are still going to happen. That is what happens when people do not listen to people that already understand how this administration or how these people have been working, or how their administration, how their politics work. Why? Because they have lived that life, they have experienced a whole lot, so they are knowledgeable. They are the OGs that understand how these people operate. I am going to tell you this: the only people that know black people more than they know themselves, like both Asian, white, Latinos, and other black people, know every one of them at the tip of their fingers, but they do not know black people. That is also one of the reasons why I keep saying that a majority of them do not care about black people, because if they really do care, they will absolutely find out what interests them, what they like, what they do not like, and at the same time listen to them, because they have been actually speaking nothing but fact so far. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.